watch a professional sport, it begins with the national anthem. Players and fans alike stand and look to the flag for the anthem, so why are an increasing number of professional athletes kneeling, sitting, standing arm in arm, or not present during the anthem, and is it a positive form of peaceful protest? Colin Kaepernick has brought much attention to this cause, and it all began in 2016 when he was sitting for the anthem. He then transitioned to kneeling to show more respect for veterans. He kneels to raise solidarity and awareness for social injustice. Mindock from Independent News, in an interview about Kaepernick's kneelings, quotes, "I am not going to stand up to show pride in the flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color." Eric Reed, who was a former teammate of Kaepernick's at the San Francisco 49ers, initially knelt with Kaepernick when they were on the same team, but now he plays for the Carolina Panthers and began kneeling with his new team at his first game with them. An ESPN article by Graziano says, whether you agree with him or not, you can't deny that there's evidence out there to support his feelings. At the conclusion of the anthem, Reed stood up and was embraced by his new teammates, even some who had previously stayed in the locker room but decided to join Reed in his kneeling. During post-game interview, Coach Ron Rivera from the Panthers stated, "I'm not going to talk about a guy exercising his First Amendment rights." Rivera has shown support for the kneeling many times, and this is from a Bolton article from the New York Times. In a Sports Illustrated article by Axon, the Hall of Fame wide receiver Terrell Owens states, "I'm with Cap. The president does a real good job of deflecting what the real issues are." Owens goes on to explain that he would have knelt with Kaepernick if he were still in the league, and there are many times when Owens has spoken up to defend racial injustice. In a 2018 article from Pro-Con, it says, when a national figure such as an NFL player refuses to stand for the national anthem, it shocks people into paying attention and generates conversation. Also in this article, the NFL Commissioner, Roger Goodell, is quoted saying, "I truly respect our players wanting to speak out and change the community. We want them to use that voice," referring to the platform that they have in social media. Many people believe that this action of kneeling during the anthem was disrespectful to veterans that have served this country. After attention from Kaepernick grew, many veterans spoke up and were defending Kaepernick. Walker from Undefeated interviewed U.S. Army veteran Richard Allen Smith, who had raised his voice in support of Kaepernick. Smith states in a letter that he wrote that was signed by many veterans, "I wanted to put something out there in the world, to say that there are veterans who not only agree with Kaepernick's right to do that, but also with the substance of the action, and are willing to stand up and say Black Lives Matter, and this is an important issue that we need to address in this country." Many veterans signed this letter in support, and they represented all types of diversity in service, ethnicity, sexuality, and gender. Smith continues in his letter explaining that people that were burning Kaepernick's jersey, with the troops and veterans being the reason, seemed ridiculous. Military and service men and women are often used as promotion by politicians and corporations, leaving many veterans feeling like props for people who haven't made the sacrifice but want to cloak themselves in their credibility. The letter continues, saying how many professional athletes would agree with Kaepernick, although they may not kneel for the anthem, they do understand where he's coming from. Jackie Robinson, a former Army officer and an MLB Hall of Famer, states in his autobiography, "I could not stand and sing the anthem. I cannot salute the flag. I know that I'm a black man in a white world." The Allen letter ends with, "However you choose to use your voice, please do so with an understanding that many veterans do not condemn the protests of activists like Jackie Robinson, Colin Kaepernick, and everyday Americans seeking justice. Indeed, we see no higher form of patriotism." Many politicians provide their input, including President Trump. Doyle from USA Today quotes President Trump as saying, "Get that son of a bitch off the field, he's fired. You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. You shouldn't be playing, you shouldn't be there. Maybe they shouldn't be in the country." When Trump made these comments, even more players took action. In this video from NFL Network, this is after many different politicians were commenting on the kneeling.
This isn't something I'm going to ask other people to put their necks out for what I'm doing. If they agree with me and feel strongly about it, then by all means, I hope they stand with me.
With Kaepernick pushing down the first domino, we've seen potentially prudent dialogue broached between players and political officials in some markets, like Seattle.
This is called unity. Now we're going to push the needle.
As players, coaches, veterans, and politicians all have their opinions.
The NFL has since changed their rules and announced that you don't have to come out of the locker room for the anthem. However, if you are out of the locker room, you're not allowed to kneel, or else your team will be fined, and consequently your team will likely fine the player so that they don't have to pay the fine. However, it's really noticed when players are not out on the field because they stay in the locker room, so it does raise the same effect. Many don't believe that this is a strong form of peaceful protest because they don't agree with the actions, but since nobody is being hurt or negatively impacted, this would be a good example of a peaceful protest raising awareness for social injustice.